In this lesson, we'll finish our IK arm controls by establishing a custom attribute that will control the twisting of the elbow. Again, we're looking at a couple of ways we can control the swivel angle on our history-independent solver chains. We looked at one way using a control. Let's take a look at another using a custom attribute, and by doing so, you can kind of find which one will work best for you. Okay, so with this now in mind, I'll go ahead and select the left control here, press Alt-1, and again, as always, we start with a title for this. So we'll go ahead and use the string parameter type. We can label this elbow, and then for our default text, swivel control. Okay, let's go ahead and add that. Check it out in the modify panel. Alright, and the actual animatable attribute, let's go ahead and switch that to float now. Let's go ahead and call this twist. The width of our parameter we'll set to 100 as we've done before. Okay, and again we're going to use a significantly high range for our min and max. We're definitely going to want this for the elbow. So I'm just going to go all out and put in -5,000 because we can. May not ever go that far, but again, just giving the animator most amount of control here. Alright, so that's -5,000, +5,000. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's going to work. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and choose add. And there we have it, our twist parameter. Let's go ahead and take care of the right side, and then we'll use wire parameters to get this twisting working. Okay, so loading up the right control, or selecting that, we can go ahead and start to create this title for it. Again, that's going to be elbow, default text, swivel control. Okay, switch this to float, and this is going to be twist. The width here is going to be 100, and again, our minimum -5,000, max positive. Choose add, and there we have it. Alright, so now it's a matter of using our wire parameters to tie this in. We can select our control first, right click, wire parameters. It's going to be object, custom attributes twist. That goes into our IK goal, transform swivel angle. So now our control is actually on the left side, so we'll need to use our last arrow. And before we connect, we could actually use our degree to radian here so that we get some nice smooth elbow twisting. Set deck to rad and concatenate twist. Alright, so I'll go ahead and copy this so we can use it on the left side. But just to show you this, if we were to now go ahead and move up our arm control and use our twist, there we have it. Great, so here's our elbow control. I'll now zero this out, just right click, and then I'll also set this to 0 to bring that control back. Head over to the left side and set this up. So again, select the control, right click, wire parameters, object, twist. Choose the goal, swivel angle, use the bottom arrow, can connect that, we can always connect and then update the expression. Alright, let's go ahead and test this out. So we'll just bring up the control, looks good, the twist, there it is, great. So I'll just right click to set that back to 0 and again transform to 0. So we have finished our IK controls. We'll need to come back to this, of course, when we set up our wrist, but again, we won't have too much work to do there. Alright, so now that that's finished, what I'm actually going to go ahead and do is spend some time creating layers for our IK and FK controls. So let's head over to our layer manager. And what we're going to do here is not create groups of these, but instead create separate layers for each. So what I mean by that is we'll create a left IK arm control layer, a right IK arm control layer, so on and so forth, which will work better for us when hiding the visibility of these controls. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and create a few layers here. Okay, 4 in total. And again, we want the active layer to be default. So the first one, we're going to go ahead and rename arm left IK control. The next one's going to be arm right IK control. And the next will be arm left FK control. And finally, arm right FK control. Okay, so we can now go ahead and take these IK controls and store them in their layer. So that one selected, we'll find the arm IK left and go ahead and add that. Now we can head over to the right side, select that, arm IK right, and add. So that finishes this lesson. In the next lesson, we'll get started on our FK controls.